the same products get reinvented for blind people a lot, not because they're hard to invent, but because people don't get that the users don't actually want them, you know? But that's why, human-centered design, agile, all these things make sense because you find out what they really need and will use, and then hopefully you can also figure out how you can get to 1,000 customers, 10,000 customers, 100,000 customers, 1,000,000 customers. That actually, building the product is like 10%. Getting it to 100,000 customers, that's the other 90.
Right, right. That question drew me into product ownership. You know, I would build features and then people would not use it as I expected, right? Everything happened in my mind, of course, right? But I was arguing with these users saying, why you're not using it as I expected? I'm the smart one, and then getting into product ownership allowed me to start understanding a little bit more about how humans behave and how human thinks, right? It's a people problem coming from an engineering. It's
And it's hard because engineers want to build the coolest feature, and often the engineer thinks that they understand what the customer actually needs, but the engineer is usually not in the shoes of the customer, and that jump is the one that entrepreneurs and product owners need to make to really either be financially successful in the case of a company, or in my case, impact successful. Making the fact that donors gave us a few $1,000,000 to build this. Well, if we don't reach scale, then that wasn't a good investment. And so, yeah, it's a
right,
but you hit
right,
the
because
core.
you measure success based on impact.
Yep. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we want to break even because we want to pay our staff, but we don't have to make money. And what we're really and it's not just our donors, right? Our team comes to work for us because they want to help. They want to work on climate issues. They want to work on social justice issues. And so we give them a chance to use their technical skills to make that impact. And the tech companies, it's one of the reasons why they're such great partners. We don't pay them really with money. We pay them with stories on how we used, I don't know, Okta or PagerDuty or Twilio or Amazon Web Services, whatever it might be. We're talking about, hey, we're using your software to save lives or to help kids get an education or whatever it might be. And that people underestimate how motivated tech people are about impact. Because I mean, I don't think your average kid decided they wanted to get into tech because they wanted to be a billionaire. It certainly wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I like tech because I like science and math and building things, right? And so, yeah, it's this interesting angle about, make a difference. And so we're always telling stories about how we help someone or, this truckload of Zambian kids that were being trafficked. One of them escaped and called the magic number, got through to our system, and those kids were rescued. I mean, that we live for stories like that.
Wow, that's amazing because you're actually changing people's lives.
Yeah, yeah. No, a matter of fact, I told my wife I'd do this for a year, and then that was 30 years ago. But the reason why people would come up to me, and let's say disabled people, I was able to finish college because I had your technology. I wouldn't have gotten through college, but because of your technology, I was able to do it. I mean, I got someone telling me that last week, right? I haven't run that library for 7 years. And someone said, I got my PhD because I had access to your library for people with dyslexia. And I'm a successful, PhD level person now. And that's great. And of course, I didn't do it. They did it. I didn't get that PhD. He got that PhD. But as a tech tool maker, the measure of your impact is what people build with the tools that you provide them. And we have to be happy with that. And I get a big charge out of that. And that's what keeps me in this field. Keeps me inventing new products is like come up with a new way to help people. That's fun.